Hello everybody, I hope you are well. Now today's video features Christian from J1 Jiu-Jitsu here in Auckland, New Zealand, and in this clip he takes us through a very good beginner's guide to the single leg takedown. Now if you're coming from an art that doesn't use these kind of takedowns a lot, for example AIKIDO, this is a really good introduction. He explains the various options, which side to put your head for safety. He breaks it down very, very clearly and precisely. It's only a short clip, so watch through to the end. Leave comments if you've got any questions, and don't forget, smash that like button and consider subscribing if you would like to support the channel. We really appreciate it, and enjoy the clip.
Back here. Cool, so this time he's standing facing me this way and I'm standing facing him this way, okay? And we're going to go for that same kind of idea that we want to attack that single leg position over here. This one's called a low shoot, okay? It's a low one and it relies on a lot of things working for you. It's a relatively easy one to defeat, okay? So my hands are up in this position. If I was to go and dive towards this leg here, he's going to lift that knee up and drive it straight into my face, and he's going to break my nose. We don't want that to happen. There's two places that my knee can go. Well, there's three places that my head can go. The first one's into his knee. We don't like that one, right? One is on the outside, one is on the inside. Now, in our kids' classes, and for our beginners, we start by putting our head on the outside, and I'll explain why we go to the inside later on. So, I'm in this position over here. I want to be roughly 1 arm's length away. My hands are in front of my face. I'm going to drop all the way down. At this point here, the knee is less of a threat. I'm going to grab my arm and place it behind the ankle. And I'm going to drive with my shoulder, and there's no moving parts from below the knee and the ankle. So it's a nice straight line right there to push. Okay? So again, at this position over here, I want to be roughly, obviously you don't start a fight like this, but I want to be roughly over here. If I'm over here and I'm trying this, I'm going to be diving too far away. I'm not going to be able to make this happen. So roughly 1 arm's length away. My hands are up across my face. I'm going to drop down. First version, head's on the outside. Arm's going to grab around the ankle, shoulder below the knee. Drive straight forward. There's no other moving parts in there, and that should make him fall down from there. Good. Cool. So he's gone in here and he's put his head on the outside here. Okay, and we'll just pause here for a second. Okay, now if everything works here, awesome, he's able to make this happen. But if I've got a bit of time and a bit of anticipation, at this point here, I can step. And now I'm able to take the back and start attacking him. Okay, so we do it from the head on the inside, so we're doing exactly the same thing in here. At this point over here, I can't get around him anymore because his body is in the way, so I can't get around him. And if I go this way, well, that just makes it better for him. Okay, so he improves his chances to be able to put the head on the inside. Okay, so exactly the same thing. He comes in, he goes for the head on the inside in here, right? At this point here, I can't fight that. He just drives through it, boom, right here. The weakness of the technique is at this point, because at this point here is when he needs to start preparing himself for this foot that's going straight at his head. Whereas if his head was on the outside, that's nicely protected, and he can then drive across and work my hips over and make that kind of work for me here. So the reason we do it in the kids class, so I'll do it to you. The reason we do it in the kids class like this is because at this point here, the risk of them having their back taken is not that important. I can teach them to drive through and control the person from here. Okay, but it's far more worrying because the kids are a little bit uncontrolled if they put their head on the inside like this and they drive through. At this point here and the legs start flying around, I get the parents complaining because the kids get kicked in the head and that kind of stuff. So ideally, you want to put your head on the inside if you're fighting against somebody who's a bit better, right? But it doesn't really matter from our perspective because we're using it more of a shape for today's session. But if you were practicing this, you should probably train with your head on the inside more than your head on the outside. Okay, so let's try the head on the inside version, right? And then we'll also try the head on the outside and see if you can take the back. We'll show that one more time, eh? So head on the outside, he comes in, boom. At this point here, I turn, and there I go. Collecting into the side, getting a nice seat belt around one head, one arm goes over the shoulder, one goes underneath the arm, tip them over sideways and go from there. Coolio?